Welcome to the live stream, y'all. Let me take this off for a second. Welcome to the live stream. We're gonna pick up where we left off from earlier, talking about child support. I was giving my take on child support, and this subject was only brought up because Elon Musk and Trump just gained access to the child support's database, which to me, um, it's a good look, but we don't know what's gonna happen behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a good start for the men that's been forced on child support just because they have to deal with a bunch of bitter ass baby mamas. Um, thank you, thank you. Hey, what's up? Um, so basically, I was where I left off is I was giving my take. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you can go look at my very last live that I did this morning. And I was talking about child support, and I was just giving my take on child support and how I had an experience with putting my, how can I say it, my ex, or my previous child's father on child support a long time ago, back in 2015. So what I was saying is I've never been the type of woman to put a man on child support just because we're not working out together and things like that. The only reason why I ended up actually putting him on child support is because he wasn't supporting the children, you know. I was getting no assistance from him, no help whatsoever. And like I said, I'm a real firm believer that time is more valuable than money. I always felt like that. Time is more valuable than money. Money ain't really nothing to me, you know. Although at the time I did need financial support and help or whatever with the children, because it does take two to take care of children. I mean, if you lay down with somebody, you would expect that person to be able to assist you, with the child that you guys created together, correct? So that's how I felt, and I wasn't getting that. And it was never because, like I said, we wasn't working out or anything like that. Um, I also did say that my very first child I had at the age of 18. I was only 18. I was actually still in high school. But by the time I had gave birth to her, I was already out of high school. And a month later, I ended up turning 19. Now, I had no clue. I had no clue about these systems. I didn't know how anything worked, but I did know about child support at the time only because my father was paying child support for me from the time I was a damn newborn all the way up until I turned 18. Um, my mom put him on child support because of their, I don't know, whatever they were going through at the time with me, but that's what happened. So I was like I said, I was 18 and I had just made 19, and I had no idea, no clue. All I know was I didn't have a job and I needed government assistance. I didn't even know about government assistance. I didn't even know I could get it. I thought I had to be 21 in order to get government assistance. I was just lost. I was out here just lost. Seriously. Um, doesn't mean that I wasn't a good mother, because I definitely was an amazing mother for my first time. Um, I just didn't have that guidance, and I didn't have the correct support in my corner. Like real support. Like, it was people that would help me out and support me and stuff like that, but really to a certain extent. So what ended up happening is the minute that I needed government assistance, unfortunately, they ended up finding out who the father of my child was, and they put him on child support. And like I said in my previous live stream, he ended up calling me out my name, all type of stuff. because he felt like I put him on child support. The sheriffs ended up coming to his house and serving him. And at that point, we had to attend a court appearance. I was just so lost. I even tried to take him off child support and everything, but um, the lady told me that I can't do that because I'm still receiving government assistance. And I'm like, damn, I need government. I need it right now because I don't have any assistance, you know? Um, and people be so quick to be like, oh, get a job. But they don't even know what comes with that. Like when you have a child and you don't have that proper support, um, what's up? You have a good day too. When you have a child and you don't have that proper support system, like for instance, if you don't have nobody to watch your child, then you're not going to be able to get a job. And damn it, you might not be able to keep one because you have to have a consistent support system, you know. Nobody will watch her for me, you know. It was hard for me. I want to say by the time she had turned, I want to say like 6 or 7 months old, I ended up finally putting her in childcare, even though I was scared, you know, I had to, so that I can work. I just feel like a lot of a lot of men out here don't know that part about the system. And when you don't have a good relationship, like friendship or co-parenting relationship with uh, the mother of your children, then you're not going to know because the court systems is not going to do anything but lie to you and tell you that the mother of your child actually put you on child support when they really didn't. See, they are really big at ruining black families. And I know that there's other cultures out here that's on child support, but the judges will literally lie and tell the men, yep, your baby mama put you on child support because they love seeing this drama. They love it. They want us to fight with each other. They want us to hate each other. People don't understand that. So anyway, fast forward, right? Now, the first time, like I said, I did not put him on child support. The system did because I was receiving government assistance. The second go round, when I ended up having a second child by him, I definitely did put him on child support because, like I said, he wasn't trying to help me support the children. And I was struggling and I had to do everything on my own. And it takes two, you know what I'm saying? Um, so I just really feel like in regards to child support, and there's a lot of people out here giving their take on it or whatnot, but you have to really, in order to really give your take for real on child support, you really have to have that experience, you know, either as a man or as a female. And when I say that, I'm saying that like women who either had to put their child's father on child support, or even if they didn't, and the systems did. So I do feel like, you know, them getting access to the child support database is it's a step forward. You know, let's see what they're going to do with this because I really do feel like they need to crack down on these bitter ass women that just want money. They just greedy. They want money. And then they hate when their child's father done moved on to better. And it's like they just want to ruin their lives. I really feel like y'all really need to stop doing that. Because like I said in my last live stream before I just ended it, when you put a man on child support, you're making his life extremely hard. And listen to me, listen to me. A lot of these men, they really want to be there for their children. They want to spend time with them. Like I said, time is more valuable than money is. Cause money comes that shit gonna come and go. But and then I could see if they have a job position or whatever, and they're able to afford to take care of the child and stuff like that. Okay, that's different. But don't you think that time is more valuable though? And some of these men out here too, let's be 100. Some of these men out here, they be like, man, I ain't taking care of no kid. You gonna have to put me on child support. They really be saying stuff like that. I had a male friend a while ago who he would talk to me about all type of stuff, all type of stuff. And he told me that him and his ex, that was they was together for 5 years, but they had an extremely toxic relationship. They have no kids together. They don't have any kids at all. Um, but they were like when they broke up, they was friends or whatever. But she'd still be coming over to the house, playing the game with him, smoking with him, and stuff like that. And um, they end up doing things together. And I'm like, why do you keep having sex with her? Why do you keep having sex with her? And then he was like, just because I like it. I like doing it with her. I said, so is it protected? Like TMI, but is it protected? He was like, nah. I'm like, aren't you seeing other women too? He was like, yeah. I said, so what if she get pregnant? He said, shit, if she get pregnant, I'm not having no kids. Mind you, he's my age. He said he don't want no kids. He don't want to have no kids. He got enough nieces and nephews. And I said, so if you're having unprotected sex, what's up, DA? What makes you think that this girl might potentially end up pregnant one day? He said, like I said, if she end up pregnant, I ain't taking care of no kids. She gonna have to put me on child support. And that go for any female that I'm out here doing it with. I said, you're horrible, bro. So you're telling me that he was like, she gonna either have to get an abortion or she gonna put me on child support. Like he willingly said that. And I gave him my take, because I have had a whole bunch of experiences in my past life, y'all, with child support, with abortions, with all of that. I do not condone abortions whatsoever. I don't. I'm sorry. I've had 3 of them in the past, and I don't condone that. So a lot of you guys y'all need to stop willingly telling these women, go get an abortion, terminate the pregnancy, because I don't want the baby. Okay, just because you don't want it don't mean that she doesn't want it. Why would you want her to go through that trauma? Terminating a pregnancy is, shedding innocent blood and killing an innocent baby that did not ask to be here. And I was literally how old I was. I was about 24, 25 when I found this out. And I had been, feeling horrible for that, but why would you y'all need to really stop telling these women to go get abortions. It's not cool. Not. It's a lot of trauma behind that. You're killing an innocent child that deserves to be here. Then to say that you okay with being on child support is crazy. And then like he didn't even care about, me giving him advice as his friend and just letting him know, like, man, bro, that's not a good idea. I've been through all of that. He didn't care. And that's what drove me away from that friendship too. I can't be friends with people like that. I can't. But a lot of these women, most importantly, they need to understand that just because you're upset with your baby daddy and you're upset that he moved on, but he still wants to be a part of his child's life, it doesn't mean that you can put him on child support. Just co-parent, especially if he still got good intentions. If y'all are able to work through that, like not the relationship because the relationship didn't work out, but you guys have children together or a child together, I feel like you guys can, like, instead of involving the system, because this system is not for us. They not for us. Instead of involving the system, let's co-parent. Hey, you get the child on these few days. I keep my child on these days. You get our child on these days. Maybe This week I'll spend 200 on her. Next week you can spend 100 on her or 200 or whatever the case may be. Like, let's split this down the middle. If we not together and it's not the relationship not gonna work, at least we can be parents. At least we can be parents. He called me bitter. He called me bitter because I put him on child support. He thought I was playing with him. When we went to the courthouse, this how toxic dude was though. Because we got there he was already there at the courthouse. Now, mind you, he didn't want to be with me because he wanted to do his own thing. He wasn't like, he didn't want to commit to a relationship, and he didn't want to tell me that. And I hate men like that. Like, why you can't just keep it straight up? Hey, look, I don't think this is gonna work between us, and I want to say it in the nicest way possible. Can we just co-parent? I don't think this is gonna work. The minute he kept telling me that, and he didn't want to be with me. He didn't want to be with me. He would talk down on me, all type of stuff. And when you already head over heels in love for somebody, it's hard to let them go. And I didn't want to let go, Then I eventually finally let go. Finally. And we had to end up having court. And I'm like, bruh, I do not want to see this dude. I don't want to see. I hope he do not show up at this courthouse. We get there. He see me. Mind you, he ain't seen me in weeks. Ain't heard from me or nothing. The minute that he finally was able to see me, he was like, damn, like, dang, she must have got some money or something, because look at her. She looking real nice. And all of a sudden, this dude want me back. So toxic, though. And it was like after the court appearance, I was walking towards the bathroom so I can go use the bathroom, and then I could just exit the courthouse and go home. This dude was standing by the bathroom waiting on me to come out. I come out. He like, Daddy, please don't do me like this. Why are you having me on child support? Literally crying. Crazy. Like really crying. And I'm looking like, bro, you didn't even want to be with me. You didn't want to be with me. You don't want to help me. And I told him, I said, could you please get out of my face? I'm trying to go home. He kept blocking me. I just want to talk. Please, I just want to talk. I said, you had my number. You really think this a game? We got 2 children together. You could have easily called my phone, texted me. Hey, can I come grab my kids? You know what I'm saying? The only time he would get them is when his family was doing things with their children and they were actually being fathers and mothers and buying them things. And he was like a materialistic type of dude. It was like, oh, my whole family got on Gucci and Burberry and stuff like that and Jordans. I got to go shopping for my kids. They would go shopping for them. And when I get the bag, I will put the stuff on my kids, and they couldn't even fit it because it was too little. They didn't even want to ask me what size they wore. They just assumed that they wore a certain size. Then would get mad when I would finally have a time where I could take them over there. They all would get mad at me because the kids wasn't wearing none of the stuff that they gave me. They would clown me for putting the kids on stuff from Foreman Meals or Family Dollars. I didn't never care. I was never that type of person that liked expensive stuff. I never cared for that stuff. I felt like long as my kids got something that they can fit, that's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. Long as they clean and they got clothes that they can fit, I don't care how much it costs. Hey, I'm getting stuff off the clearance rack. I shop for myself like that. Just off the clearance rack. $1 to $5. Okay. But I'm really just giving my example and my take on this though, because I've always had a problem with child support. Always. I never felt like it was right for these men to be suffering like this out here. And I'm talking about the good men. I'm not talking about the bad men that actually deserve to be on child support because they're not supporting their child by being there for them or, making sure the child is okay. They out here laying up with other women, having kids and stuff like that, being there for these other kids instead of taking care of the kids. That's why I'm giving my take on it. I just always felt like child support was just wrong. Now, my example is of a very, I ain't even gonna say nothing extremely bad about this dude, but my example is the type of baby daddy that I had. He just wasn't there. Like, he wasn't there. He was non-existent. And like I said, it would be times very randomly, well, he'll try to reach out to me and ask for the kids and stuff like that. And I would get upset and I would be like, no. Sometimes I'd be like, no. And I was bitter. I was evil. Everybody want to try to say, oh, you don't want him to see the kids. No, you ain't do nothing for it. You haven't been here for them. You haven't did anything for them this whole entire time. And the only reason why you want to get them is because your family going out shopping with their kids. They going on trips and stuff with their children. So you just want to show off. You want to show off and make it seem like you this amazing father, and you're not. I'm talking about, like, I could really, really go into detail about what type of person this dude was and how he was towards the kids, but that's just my example. I had a good cause to actually put this dude on child support. But back to these bitter ass women out here. Y'all out here really putting these good men on child support that want to be there for their kids. Y'all feel like, oh, you ain't got no money? You ain't got no money. Nah. Why do he have to have money? Like I said, the only exception I would give is if he actually has a really good job and he's making a lot of money and he's able to help you support the child. Because there is some selfish ass men out here too. Y'all know some of these men is just extremely narcissistic and hey, if the shoe fit, wear it. Because I ain't talking about y'all, the good men. I'm talking about these men that would try to put, it's kind of tricky too, because you got these men that will portray this image that they're a good father. They just want to be there for their kids. They just want to see their kids. And the baby mama tripping. But in actuality though, the only reason why she's keeping you away from the child is because you have a job, you've been working for 10 years. You got other children out here that you supporting financially. Your household good, but you ain't trying to support this child financially, and your baby mama is actually struggling and she's been asking you for help, but you're so selfish, you don't want to help. So she like, shit, why you don't want to help with your child? You see what I'm saying? That's the real tricky part about child support. That's the tricky part. And it's not, I promise to God on everything I love, it's not about the money though. It's not. And it sounds tricky what I'm saying too, because listen to me, it's not about the money. But if you're a very selfish ass person and you have the financial means to support the child, why do you, and you see I'm struggling, what you want with her or him? I'm just saying, you do have some good women out here that really do want these men to be a part of their kids' life and stuff like that. But you got other children on the side that you supporting financially. You so selfish, you can't even support this one financially. So move around. Well, forget it. Since you don't want to help support financially and you want to support your other children, then that's when they start calling the child support office. Then these men want to cry, play the victim and act like, oh yeah, well, she just don't want me to be a part of my kid's life. Bro, you got 5 other kids out here that you supporting financially. You have for them all the time. You make sure they good from head to toe. You spend all your time with them. But with this specific child, like these men be picky. How are you picking and choosing which child to support? And that's another thing I was going through too. This dude was out here having kids behind my back. I didn't even know. I didn't know for 1 year until I had this strong feeling. I don't know. I don't know. It was random as ever. I'm like, why do I feel like this dude got other kids? And I ended up finding out that he did. And he was supporting the hell out them kids, being there for those kids and everything. But these children, which is your first 2 children ever, you ain't even trying to help support with them or nothing. But you having other kids out here fathering those kids just because see, these men pick and choose what kids they want to support too financially. You want to know why? Because they feel some type of way. They feel some type of way about that specific baby mama. So it's like, nah, that baby mama, she be tripping. And honestly, a lot of these women, they really don't be tripping though. They really don't be tripping. They just, a lot of these men, they narcissistic. They really just want you to shut up. It's like, man, just shut up. You always got something to say about this. You got something to say about that. But you really just telling the truth. And that's how I was. I was just telling the truth. And because I wouldn't shut up when you wanted me to, you felt like, well, shit, I'm not finna support them kids. Y'all really up here laying down with women, getting them pregnant and saying, shit, that ain't my child. How? You didn't even have on a, and you know what? I got to be careful what I say on here about SEX because I had just realized that YouTube, they will take my videos down. They be sending me emails I'm talking about explicit things and stuff like that. So I'm trying to be careful how I say it, but you're whipping your stuff out. You're not putting on a rubber. You willingly laying down with these women, getting them pregnant, and then saying, shit, that ain't my kid. Damn. So she really got to go the whole 9 months being pregnant alone by herself. You ain't even trying to call it, check up on her. You ain't even trying to attend any doctor's appointments with her. I just really feel like even if y'all relationship did not work out, it does not mean that you can't be there for the child. But these men, some of them, and these women too, they be so toxic. They be so toxic. It needs to be charged too. They be so toxic that they're okay with not supporting these children. My bad, I said that wrong. I kind of got distracted, but they be so toxic that they're okay with just constantly doing the do, steady doing the do. Yeah, he on my husband on live too, y'all. It's just unfortunate. It's so unfortunate that a lot of these men, good men, like my husband, I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's the big reason why I'm talking about this too, because he got to go through this bullshit with these bitter ass women. He actually wanted to be there for his other kids, but these bitchs don't want him to because he moved on. He been there for his kids and they took that away from him. These females be out here acting like they some social workers. Bitch, you might as well work for DCFS the way you act. Damn. Go ahead and go work for the system then. That's how I feel. If you that bitter, go work for the system. And I feel like I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of these women that are bitter as hell, they actually do work for the system. They work in the child support system. They judges, they police officers, they social workers, all of that. All trust, they be bitter as hell. Cause if you wasn't bitter and if you wasn't evil and if you was a good woman, you will really be out here helping your own people, making sure they good. If I worked in a child support office as a black woman, before I approve these documents and send it through the system, I feel like it will probably be my place to ask you, look, on some real stuff, have y'all tried to work this out through co-parenting yet before y'all go this route? Because this child support system do not play fair. I'm talking about when a man end up on child support, they take, and I'm talking about the good men on child support. That's who I'm talking about. These bitter ass females up here putting these men on child support, and it's so dangerous because they are getting their driver's license taken away. They can't even really get a passport to exit the damn country. They getting locked up because they in debt. These bitches is evil and bitter because you don't want him to move on, but you ain't want to be with them. He wanted a long-term relationship with you, but you told him you didn't want him anymore and he needs to move around. You will never amount to nothing. They be talking down on these men too. You will never amount to nothing. You will never get you a good woman. You're going to go out here, you're going to be fucked up and blah, 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 blah. Of course, because you're going to make sure he is. But the minute that you see that he overpowered them words and he actually ended up with a wife, it pisses y'all off to the point where it's like, oh, this motherfucker that moved on and had other kids. Okay, bet I'm putting him on child support. Then when he tries to reach out to y'all and ask y'all, man, can I talk to my babies? Can I talk to my kids? I miss them. Nope, you can't talk to them. Why? I'm gonna be honest with you. I was the mediator. You know what I'm saying? Because I had contact with these females. And I have to ask them personally, what is the reason why he can't talk to his children, ma'am? I said it as nice as possible. These motherfuckers told me it's because he in a relationship with you and I don't know you and I don't want my kids around you. And I'm like, I don't have nothing to do with why he shouldn't. So you putting the fact that he's in a relationship with me and you don't know me, you using that as a reason for him not to see his children. Sweetheart, you are bitter. That's what it is. Because I'm sure you got a man at home over there with them kids. That ain't none of his business. That ain't none of his concern. Okay. So why you don't want this? What? Like, come on now. Then they be making up all type of lies and all type of stuff. Girl, because he did this and he did that and he did that, and it was all about money. It was all about money. It wasn't never about, I even went with my husband to the shoe store, to the clothing store. We picked out clothes for his other kids that they can fit, shoes. I was like, oh, your daughter, she'll probably look so cute in this. I was really gonna play stepmommy for real. Because he doing the same for me. He is a great stepfather. Seriously. Then we got 3 kids of our own. He's an amazing stepfather. I'm just being honest. And I was going to be the same for his children. They was going to look at me as a mother. I was going to, being that I was already the mediator between him and his baby mothers or whatnot, I was okay with him actually trying to talk to them and stuff. So what happened was one time, I had reached out to one of the baby mamas a long time ago, some years ago. I said, hey, he really is upset that he can't talk to. Could you please let him be able to talk to his children? She told me, yeah, tell him to call me. So I told him, I said, yeah. She said, go ahead and call her. So he called her. He was talking to her, stuff like, well, he wasn't talking to her. She put the kids on the phone. They were talking. He was talking to his, finally able to talk to the kids. They was extremely happy to finally talk to their daddy. All of a sudden, this chick so weird. She started sending text messages, heart emojis, weird as hell, because that's all she really wanted. She was so bitter that she wanted to ruin his relationship. Didn't happen though. So I ended up texting her and I'm like, excuse me, can you stop disrespecting our relationship? I'm okay with him talking to his children and you guys, being able to reconcile and co-parent, but you're not about to disrespect my relationship. Don't be sending him heart messages. And she just instantly got out of body, started calling me out my name. Next thing you know, she went back to the bitter her and she said that he cannot ever talk to his children again or see them. It's been 6 years and I feel so bad for him. Then this chick got the audacity to hit up the child support office though. And you the one that stopped him from being in his kid's life because he's in a relationship. These women are bitter. So yes, Elon Musk, Trump, crack down on child support, please. These chicks is bitter. They don't want to see these men happy. So being that they don't want to see them happy, it's like, you can't see your kids no more. You ain't gonna be able to talk to them. I'm gonna put you on child support. Damn. Why y'all can't just co-parent? You want to know why? Because all these females do is they think about the sex. That's all they want. They want the sex. That's all they care about. You ain't even trying to respect him, respect his space, respect the fact that he wanted to move on because you told him to, or just simply because y'all ain't work out. But he still wants to be there for his children. I can't believe how bitter these women be, for real. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's really in the Black community though, because I see a lot. When I used to go to the child support courthouse, all you would see is nothing but Black women and men and some Mexicans. And when you would see white people, you would see that they're able to, majority of the time, white people able to co-parent really well. Sometimes they do got to get the system involved because you would have that one person that's just a damn goofy that don't want to do the right thing. I'm all for co-parenting before the system gets involved because, like I said, they do not play fair. And these women know that. They can't just call the police up on you and be like, could y'all come arrest this nigga because he is not doing what he supposed to do, which is being with me still, even though I wanted him to move on. Like, how can you have your cake and eat it too? If I said that right, I ain't said that word in a long time, but how? That's not fair. It's okay for you to move on and have you another dude, but you don't want him to move on. You want him to still be with you, but you don't want him with you at the same time. That is so toxic. And a lot of them don't even want to be with the man for a relationship. A lot of them want to be with the man for the good loving in the bedroom. That's all they want. They want the best of both worlds. I got me a main dude, and then I got my baby daddy. And me and my baby daddy finna steal. And if he don't want to be with me in the bedroom, I'm putting him on child support. I'm telling you, that's exactly how they think. I had friends like this in the past. Literally. Oh, he ain't trying to give it up in the bedroom. Child support. Huh? You ain't trying to get. I said, if you ain't trying to lay down with me, I'm putting you on child support. And these men, they have to lay down with these women against their will so they can prevent themselves from being on child support, unfortunately. Ain't that sick? That is so sick. That's so sick to me. So you're going to make this man suffer. He wants to be there for his daughter or his son. You're going to make him suffer because he don't want to lay down with your trifling ass in the bed. I promise you, bro, like, dude really thought that I was like that. He really felt like, oh, you just want to put me on child support because you still want me. Nah, son. I'm doing it for a good cause. And I hate that I had to get the system involved because I never wanted to. I asked you, can we co-parent? And then when I would let him and his family get the kids, they couldn't even take care of them right. My kids coming back home with scratches and bruises and all type of stuff. And I'm like, what happened within the last 5 hours? How did you get this on? Well, I fell, mommy, and I'm like, bro, I can't send my kids back over your crib. I can't. Why are they coming back with all these damn bruise marks and scratches and scraped up from head to toe? How? Shit, they was running around and all right, bet. You can go hustle on the block then. Cause that's all you good for anyway. Go on over there, hustle on the block, do what you do. I'm gonna take care of mine. I feel like, I was a real good parent when my children were little. And I really feel like the part of me that messed up is when I was trusting too many people around them, to be honest. Trusting way too many people around my kids, thinking that they gonna take care of my kids correctly and stuff like that just because they asked to watch them and, ask for them or whatnot. Even friends at the time would ask me, hey, you want me to watch the kids? Yeah, hell yeah, I need you because I'm doing all this by myself and I needed that support. And at times, sometimes us as parents, we do need us a small little break. Maybe 1 day, 2 days, whatever. But if somebody is, at the time, I felt like shit, if somebody is opening up their door to ask me, do you need me to watch the kids for you? I'm going to say hell yeah, especially because I was young, And then when I would get my kids back, Pampers and pull-ups full, ain't been changed, ain't been fed, they dirty, and at that time I'm like, you know what? I can't do this shit. I'm just gonna watch my own damn kids. But I'm just saying, like, man, come on, man. We gotta co-parent before we get these systems involved. Because see, look what it came to. And the child support system is dirty. They stealing money in all type of angles. Because when I had him on this is my example. When I had him on child support at the time, he was making good money at the job that he was working. So I'm thinking like, man, I'm finally going to get some type of support, Child support was stealing the money. They was not giving me anything except for $50 a month. And this dude getting paid between $800 to $1,000 every 2 weeks. $800 to $1,000 every 2 weeks at the time. Because he was putting in overtime hours and everything. Child support was taking, I want to say probably like $200 every 2 weeks. What do they tell you? They taking $200 $200 to $250 every 2 weeks. And I was only getting $50 a month. Sometimes they would give me nothing. They were stealing the money. Yes, please crack down on child support. Please. I wasn't getting shit. How the hell $50 is going to help 2 children? How is $50 a month going to help support 2 children? That's not going to do nothing. Probably buy what? 1 box of diapers, that's about it. Or a box of diapers and some wipes, and that's about it. I said, damn, they really getting me. And then, see, at the time, I didn't really know how it fully went, child support. But I had told him, like, I called him up and I said, hey, I know you making a lot of money. And your ass is literally giving me $50, bro. He was like, $50? How the fuck am I giving you $50 if they're taking $250 out of my check every 2 weeks? No. I'm like, huh? Because I ain't really understand. I'm like, you said they taking $250? Yeah, they taking $250 every 2 weeks. I can really show you the check stubs. And I thought about it. I said, how the fuck, like, how is I'm getting fit? Because I thought that it was coming straight from him, you know? I didn't know what the hell was going on. And I said, damn, so they really getting me. They really ain't, they are getting you and me. They stealing your money pretty much. This is exactly why I said we can just co-parent. Oh, now you want to co-parent? Yeah, we could do that as long as you take me off child support. I don't even trust you like that, bro. Never mind. I said this is why we could have co-parented in the first place. But this is just my example. Like, before it gets to a point where we have to reach out to these systems for any help, because these systems is really created to not assist us at all. They take it from us. And the only way for them to do that, majority of the time, is when you reach out to them because you really think you're going to get some help. And they ain't going to do nothing but dog our asses. I got to go. I love talking about these type of subjects. And I actually, sometimes I don't be really wanting to tell my little personal situation, but I don't really give a damn. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all can judge me however you want. Say I'm this, say I'm that. I do not care. America is messed up anyway, so it is what it is. And I have a lot of stories. I got a lot of stories. I could literally write a damn book on my life. To be in my 30s and have to experience so much that I experienced, I actually like giving my take on things because I have experienced a lot and still going through it. Ain't over with yet. I still got a long ways to go. So people can judge me. People can tell me that I need to be quiet. And, you know, I know there's people out there that's probably watching me, telling me, like, probably saying behind the scenes, she need to be quiet. She really up there telling about her. I don't care. I really don't. I don't care how anybody feel about me speaking out and bringing awareness to DCFS, the child support system, food stamp, whatever. I don't care. And when I come back on here later on today, y'all, we're going to talk about the IRS, income taxes. We're going to talk about how people felt this year, and I promise you, y'all, I'm seeing so much depression as of lately outside. Everybody is angry and depressed because they did not get the amount back that they expected. Plus, the IRS been auditing motherfuckers left and right. Ain't nobody really get nothing back this year. I mean, from what I see in my city in Chicago, ain't nobody really out here good like how they was the year before and the year before that. Everybody's still struggling. So we're gonna talk about the struggle and all that when I come back on here later. Nevertheless, appreciate you guys for listening to me, hearing me out. I say I don't care how anybody feel about my stories. It is what it is. Thank you, DA, for being here and watching and listening. All right, y'all, I'm out. Nevertheless, wake them folks up.